Broads Media.
This team is awesome! I can't believe I'm saying that. What a win! Bryce Harper goes the other way. It all starts with my man Kyle Schwarber, though. Let's not discredit the walk that started everything. I thought Bohm followed that up with a pretty good at-bat. Battled with David Robertson. Why did they even pull Sandy? I would have kept him in the game. I don't give a damn that he threw a complete game the last time he took the mound. The dude was dealing, and he could throw over 100 pitches. I don't care if David Robertson's a new acquisition. All right, you got to stick to the beautiness, and that was Alcantara. But they messed that up big time, and the Phillies pounced on it. Bryce Harper, Nicky C gets out of his slump, and they steal a victory. And at this time of the year, that matters so much. What a dead offense. You get some sort of life in the first inning, but then it gets sucked out of you because you can't make them pay. Ranger allowed a ton of hits. Now, some of them should have been called errors. There was the Bohm double clutch play over at third. There was the Bryce Harper who should have let Stott take the ground ball, and he should go to first, but instead he tried to flip it underhand to a Ranger Suarez covering, and it was not the smartest play in the world. There were some things that screwed Ranger Suarez, but for him to still be able to go as long as he did, and then others fill great roles. Sir Anthony just closed a baseball game, all right? That is huge, considering the last time we watched him go into the game was when Rob yanked Christopher Sanchez throughout a no-hitter, and then Sir Anthony Dominguez allowed a home run instantly. There wasn't even 2 breaths taken by everybody in the dugout. Rob hasn't even said one word yet, and it's like, all right, well, that backfired big time. He closed the game in a very emotional battle. Awesome. Marte, back-to-back walks. What's going on? Please, I know the offense can't score a damn run. At this time of the game, they were brutal. But please just keep it to 1, because if the Phillies if they do find any sort of momentum offensively, we can't be asking for too much. You can't dig yourself into a 4-0 hole and expect this offense to climb out. They could get 2. All right, I know at the time it felt like they couldn't, but they could get 2, damn it. Especially when Kyle Schwarber's up at the plate to start the inning, because he's magnificent at what he does, and of course he walks to start the buzz that happened. So here's Bryce Harper. Maybe it's not all about the power this season, and he's not smoking a bunch of home runs, but damn it, when it comes to needing something clutch, you can definitely rely on Bryce Harper to be there for you. I actually saw a stat of his numbers during the 7th inning and on. Joe Giglio put this out about 10 minutes after the game. That Bryce Harper in late and close games, which is 7th inning or later, is hitting .431 this season with the .500 on base percentage and .608 slugging. Think about that, .431 with the .500 OBP in 7th innings or later. This guy has the gene. I'm not breaking news here. That's Bryce Harper for you. And what bigger time than that for Nick Castellanos? With people at the ballpark, the number since the All-Star break is putrid. 2-run bomb. That thing was smoked. If you're going to make a mistake, you need to feel threatened by the hitters that are in the box. And the Phillies hitters that have high resumes, high-profile resumes, haven't been able to accomplish that. And that ties right into Dave Dombrowski and the trade deadline. How did I feel about the deadline? I'd say I was a little underwhelmed because I thought that you would get a pitcher and a right-handed bat for your outfield. Instead, you get a younger version of Edmundo Sosa, and he's going to be team friendly for quite some time and under team control for quite some time, and that was sort of what they thought he could do, and that could be something that you look forward to in the future throughout this whole thing. Okay, but you get your guy in Lorenzen. I like what he brings to the table. He's very versatile. First off, he was an all-star this season. Now, every team gets a nod. He's on the Tigers. Say what you will, but he has had an awesome season. He could be out of the pen. He can be a starter. And hearing Rob say that they're going to go with a six-man rotation, I think that is perfect for this team. They saw last year, and one of the big things that I wanted to see is them learn what it's like to get that far and then also apply things to this team so then when you get back there again, and quite frankly, we've hated this team and I don't know if they're going to do that. I'm just saying part of this was now you learn, now you gather information. What are we going to do differently to set ourselves up in a different situation if we are to get there? The reason I bring this up is in a more simpler way. Last year, Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler hit such a huge wall that they couldn't even compete anymore, unfortunately. Gathering a sixth starter and changing the rotation buys them time and tries to draw out a possible longer run. Now, Aaron Nola is nowhere even close to last year. A lot of these guys aren't even close to last year. So I don't know. I'm just saying, I love the idea. I love the theory. And you could do a lot of different things. You could play around with this. If they stick with the six-man, so they stick with the six-man. They can put him in the pen if need be. I don't know Alvarado. I don't know what's going to happen with Sir Anthony long-term. I have no idea. I have no idea. If you need to utilize someone in the pen, can you? Now, it's different left-handed pitcher compared to a right-handed pitcher. It's not apples to apples. But you need depth. And if one person was to go down, especially in that starting rotation, you were in an ugly spot. I heard that Bailey Falter was going to be in some rumors. They deal him. He's part of the Castro deal. But one thing that absolutely cracks me up is I actually saw some fans upset that Lee was part of the deal with Lorenzen. Listen here. All right, if you were sitting in the same exact spot right now, and Dave Dombrowski said, well, we were going to acquire Lorenzen. And then you look up Lorenzen, you see he's an all-star, you see that he's thrown a nice amount of innings this year. There was fear because he was a relief pitcher for quite some time, that the innings will catch up to him. Is he ready to produce with a different role? I'm not canceling that out. I believe it's very possible because it just seems like that's the type of year that he's having. And until I see him flop, I'm going to think he will succeed because he has succeeded this year. If Dave Dombrowski was getting questioned by the media and said, well, we like Lee, and we don't want to give up Lee for an all-star pitcher who is versatile, you'd be like, Dave, what the hell is your problem? You have to give up prospects to go get your guy. Then when he goes and gets his guy, well, it seems like he overpaid with Lee. Lee? We're sitting here upset that they traded Lee out of their system. Where's he going to play? Don't you love Bryson Stott and you deem him a player that you want to hold on to forever? He's magnificent. He's not going to take Stott's place. Trey Turner just signed a massive deal. He's not going over anywhere else other than being stuck with the Phillies system. You trade guys like Lee at the deadline to make your competing team better. That's what you do, and I think it was a very solid move by Dombrowski, even if it is a rental. I would rather go after Duvall, though, and I had so much faith in Dave Dombrowski, so much faith in Dave. I feel like I combined faith and Dave. Dave, I don't know, did I not? The world may never know. You can actually rewind and find that out for me. Dave Dombrowski, I had faith in him because as the clock was ticking, you recognize, let's stay back to last year's All-Star break. When did everything go down? When was the LA Angels and Brandon Marsh and O'Hoppe and Mickey Moniak and Noah Syndergaard? It was coming down to the wire. It was so quiet for so many different teams and so quiet for a veteran presence who's been around the game as long as Dave Dombrowski has. He was going to do something. And I felt that in my bones, and then he makes a nice move for Lorenzen, but I didn't think it was over. I really did think he'd cash in and bring in a Duvall as well, and that would have satisfied me to a really good degree and said big A+ for Dave. I think he targeted what was needed, and then he executed nicely, not getting Duvall, not getting a right-handed bat in the outfield. there's two ways to look at it. You definitely could have done more. You could have done that. You could have found a way. Now, Duvall didn't get moved. Pham did. There were some other names that did. It wasn't just Duvall, but I use him as the example because I think that's what I would have attacked if I was in Dave's shoes. Dave sent a message to the guys, basically is what it is. And he looked at Rojas and he looked at Pache, and maybe it's because the names McGarry or Mick Abel end up getting called. So when they get caught, I'm not doing Duvall for something like this, right? I know you give away prospects for a talent, but it has to be reasonably discussed, and Lee is reasonably discussed in that potential trade, and it's more than a potential trade at this point. It actually went down. When you look at Dave Dombrowski's message, okay, when asked how many of the offensive improvements need to come internally from the lineup, Dave Dombrowski said, a lot. I think our guys know that too. We have some good offensive names, and we like their ability. It's just now we have to go out and do it, and we have confidence that they're going to do it. So to me, when you look at who was available at the price we would have to pay, we really kept coming down to the offensive improvement that we feel we'll get from within will be good for us. That will help us more than what we could have gotten from some outside help. There is truth to that, but you also could have gotten outside help too. It didn't need to be one or the other unless they were being too unreasonable and asking for something that was such a wide margin that you just have to hang up the phone and realize we can't be stupid here. That's what it seems like the Duvall thing could have been. So you tried, you did everything you could, you spoke, you picked up the phone, you had every intention. I'm sorry, there needs to be a line drawn, and that's what happened when Dave was looking for it. If you were to get a nice bat, not an overwhelming bat, it was never going to be anything incredible. It was just going to be nice, which is fair, which makes a team who's competing at the deadline better. Puts them in a different category, at least gives them a chance to, and that's what you ask your president of baseball ops to do this time of the year. If that person was to succeed in their role, but Trey Turner still sucked, and Nick Castellanos still flailed away at pitches that were nowhere close to the plate, and JT Realmuto, who's now banged up, and Garrett Stubbs had to take the lineup today, and we'll see what happens with the uncomfort that he has. He's uncomfortable at this time, so JT Realmuto out. If these guys all still blow, but whoever you trade for the outfield who was nice ends up being a nice role, you're not going anywhere. So it's all about what you have now. It's all about who's in that room. And not grabbing anybody else, I think, makes a statement even though they were trying to. It makes a louder statement if they weren't trying to at all. And say, I'll just put it all on you. I don't need more. I know we don't need more. Look in the mirror, go out and be you. Go be Trey Turner. Instead, he's striking out on 0-2 pitches with stuff that's so drivable, and his bat stays there, and it's standing still, and it's just ugly. It's just that simple. It is a horrible, horrible thing with Trey Turner, and I don't know how anyone can overturn this in such a short amount of time. There's funks, and then you're so far underground, you're buried alive. It won't last forever, but for a certain time, for a window of your time, you're banging at the top of the coffin, screaming to get me the hell out. He needs to find some help. He needs to find some help. All right, let's go to the Anytime Hotline. Let's hear from the people. We'll start with the text message here. Yo, bros, loving the daily content. Appreciate it, Curtis. This is from Curtis. Now, do you think these two trades is enough? I'm not really sold on it, but hey, we'll see. However, seeing Bryce and Casty get things going down the stretch is exactly what we need. Only thing that would have been better is if Trey kept that rally going. Looking forward to keeping more to more episodes. Keep being you. Thanks so much, man. I got nothing for you on the Trey Turner front. He's lost. You brought up the two acquisitions. It starts with the guys who have been here. Pre-deadline, before you even brought anybody new into that clubhouse, They had enough talent to be real. Something just needed to change from individual guys. Post-deadline, you're better. You got a better starter than what you had, although Christopher Sanchez has been awesome. I wouldn't take him out right now. I'd ride it out as long as humanly possible. There might be a time where you have to make that very unfortunate decision, but now it's not then. So let's try and milk this out as much as humanly possible, or he might just be solid. He might just be a good fifth starter, Sanchez that is, and he never does fall on his face because this is Christopher Sanchez. Let's find out. He'll probably be more consistent than Aaron Nola. That's not very difficult to do. Anybody and their mother could do that right now. You see basically everyone in the rotation battle adversity except for him well. Blows my mind. Every single guy. Ranger Suarez is so damn cool and collected when he's out there that he's pointing at Bryce Harper very casually. Hey, go to first, go to first. Maybe it had something to do with the way that Bryce Harper went over to second base and stole that ground ball from Bryce instead. He's like, I got to point to him. But he's so nonchalant, gets the ball, does a 180 and throws it to Bryce, and they get the out at first base. Did I even touch on the rally yet? The beautiful play by Nick Castellanos. The ball gets stuck underneath the wall. Relay. The relay, I meant. Not the rally, the relay. That play at home plate was wild. That's an absolute game changer. Nicky C gets the ball, fires it to Stott. Stott fires it home. And it was a bang-bang play. I don't know if there was enough evidence to overturn it. And if the umpire caught it the other way, I don't think that there was enough to say that it was definitely touched on his groin area, on his hamstring area, and they made it before he touched home plate. It would have stayed with what was ever called on the field to begin with. Luckily, it was great defense. But that keeps you involved. Brandon Marsh over in left field. Slide and grab. That keeps you involved. Important. Difference making. When you drop pop-ups, you're in a horrible spot. You're probably going to lose. Giving guys free bases. What a gun by Stott. Speaking of second base, Gene Segura, no. I'm going to stop you there. No. Don't get into your feels. Don't think of last year and what was. That's not Gene Segura right now. It sucks. It sucks to see. It doesn't make any sense. What are you going to do with him? If Bryce Harper plays first, Bohm is over at third. You have Stott, you have Trey. As much as Trey sucks, stop. Even if you're joking around, stop. There's nowhere for Gene Segura to go. It doesn't make sense. If Bohm's over at first, then Bryce has to DH. You put him where? Put him at third base, and Alec Bohm's playing first base? So, Marsh is playing center, Schwarber playing left, Nick playing right? No. 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 Because the beauty of getting Bryce back on his feet is to get Kyle Schwarber off of his. No. 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 No, 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 no. I just want to make that clear. That no. So to answer your question, Curtis, and I appreciate the text, do I think this is enough? If the guys who needed to step up even before the deadline do their thing and become special, it's enough because it was enough before you even acquired them. This team going as far as possible is all predicated off of everyone who was on this roster before today, before the 6 o'clock deadline, before Jeff Passan, Bob Nightingale, John Heyman, and some of the clowns out there were tweeting away their rumors. How about the Mets blowing it up already? Let's go to the phones.
Bros, man. You know what I love about this team? Even in both of these wins where there was still a lot of stuff that you come away with being like, yeah, it still kind of irks me. They find ways to win, when it matters. And then that's what we saw last year. And it's just fantastic. And God, was I worried when they brought out Sir Anthony. I don't believe in that guy, but hey, he has a great outing. Bryce Harper is a friggin' hero. Just what that guy does is just amazing. And a huge pop from Nicky, man. I hope that's the turnaround for him. And it's all this team needs. Don't need everybody. Just need a couple more of these guys to get a little more consistent. And we're going to go on a run. Let's do it, baby.
It is more than you think.
Rhodes Media.
What? Whoa. Okay. Don't know what just happened. It's more guys than just a few. It's Nick. It's Trey. It's JT. Schwarber's been walking. At the end of the day, though, we need more than walks, and he's got a lot of home runs. I'm just saying we need a burst out of him in the power department. Bohm and Stott are who they are. Marsh has been very solid. So you have those, but it's not going to take those. They're the complementary pieces. They're important, and you need them. You need them. They're probably more than complimentary. The Sosas of the world, like Maton and Vierling last year, I guess you could label them complimentary. Their role, they're probably below complimentary, and the guys that I'm mentioning, like Stott and Bohm, are above complimentary, but not stars. I think you get where I'm going here. No, Bohm has a lot of RBI. He's no joke. He is important to this. They're not stars, but they're more than complimentary. Whatever that is the Stotts, the Marsh, the Bohm. Trey, Nick, and JT, that's a good amount. That's 1/3 of your batting order. So it's a lot to ask. Can they do it, though? Not impossible. And I'm not even banking on Trey. I think if Trey still stinks and everybody else shines, can they do it still and work around that poor play? Not impossible. Harder, not impossible. I'm not even talking about a great Trey. Can we get an average Trey? An average Trey. Not saying hitting for his average, his career average. I'm not saying anything like that. Can we just get an average? We're getting you stink and don't even deserve to be in major leagues. You're just allowed to play every day because of how long you've done it before. But his play is tragic. Tragic. Don't give me batting average. His play is tragic. Unacceptable. Minor league stuff. If Trey Turner hits... See, the thing is, he's hitting 240-something, which in today's era isn't even that bad, but he stinks right now. So I don't want to say something like 260 because there's a lot of guys who hit 260 and it feels a different way and there's more sustainability in it and there's flow to it. Can we get an average Trey Turner? Just not an automatic out, not an automatic strikeout. Not I'm going to keep my bat on my shoulders when there's a pitch that's over the heart of the plate. Use that speed. Unreal. But it is a lot of an ask. It is. It's more guys than I think you're giving it a thought of. It's more. It's a lot. We'll see.
All right. You know what? Screw it. You're right, Broads. I'm waving the white flag here, okay? Schwarber can lead off. All right? I wasn't down for it before, but there's too much evidence mounting up at this point. I can't say no to it anymore. Fine. You win, Broads. You happy? I'm waving my little white flag. That aside, great win for the Phillies tonight. Don't even know if you're going to do a show tonight, but if you do, hell yeah.
Oh, we're doing a show.
Really happy about this. I love how resilient this team is. I know we've got better baseball in us still, and we're going to play better baseball to come. Let's keep it up.
I hope they do. I hope they do. I'm having fun with this. I'm not ruling anything out. I'm not shutting anything down. I'm just giving you the day-to-day feels. I'm giving you the day-to-day vibes. There's days where I'm going to scream and lose it, and they deserve every single second of that frustration. And then there's going to be nights like this where they win 2 in a row, and it's not everything that we can ask for, and it's 8 innings of piss-poor offense. Seriously, that first inning, you're not stoked thinking Sandy's on the mound. You're going to get to him nice and early, and then maybe you can pour some on, and then have 6 earned runs in his stat line. It's only 3 innings into the game. You're doing something special after a nice 4-2 win the night before. You think. But nope. And then one of the innings, I swear to God, I don't know what it is, but I swear to God, The inning went 1 minute. 1 minute, 60 seconds. Inning's over. Well, that was a fast one. Tom McCarthy and Ruben say on the broadcast. Well, that was quick. Oh, you don't say. Did they even go up to the plate? Did they start the at-bat with 2 strikes? Crazy. But good. I'm glad that you're coming over to the good side. You know what cracks me up about this Kyle Schwarber thing? Okay, so the people that don't like Kyle Schwarber in the leadoff spot are traditionally ones that don't like the new way of baseball. I like the old way. I like the speed up at the top, get on base, bunt people over. They believe analytics destroyed everything. And not every number is advanced analytics by any means. But the reason why they don't like Kyle Schwarber is because they look at his numbers and they're not satisfied with his numbers. But those same people despise using numbers to make decisions. They like gut feel. If you think this is going to work, regardless of what numbers say, have at it. Isn't that Kyle Schwarber? It's not conventional, but you go off of gut feel. You're not going off of what the numbers say. You're going off of what works. Numbers meaning his batting average, but there's numbers that do say this works when it comes to win-loss record. And I think if there is one thing we all agree on, regardless on your stance on how you should make decisions with your baseball club, should it be a front office, should it be the manager, however you feel, win-losses is the most important stat, and that's not a debate. We're all seeing that no matter what your stance is on how baseball has been changed and impacted with the whole new approach. This works. It's gut feel. Let it rip. This team has something about it. And you know what else is also a big part of this? No one's complaining. You know who's complaining? Everyone who watches the team. You know who seems to love it and not give a damn whatsoever? I haven't heard one person ever bring up in the Phillies organization how bad it is and how much they think it sucks and how awful it is that Kyle Schwarber leads off and they think it's wrong and someone else deserves to be there. It seems like they grab onto it. It seems like they acknowledge that we like this. I don't know. You heard Nick after the game. There's a lot of clubhouses in this league. Not all of them are pulling and caring as much as we are. You have to execute. At the end of the day, you have to execute. Wanting it, that's all great and dandy. You get paid billions of dollars to play the sport. You have to actually execute. But there's something to the bond that they do have. And within that bond, they bought in to Kyle Schwarber leading off, regardless what all of us think. It works for them. So leave it alone.
Look at that Phillies offense coming to life in the ninth inning. But a very, nice gesture of thanks to Skip Schumacher for taking Alcantara out. I was surprised that they lifted him. I thought with his track record and having pitched the complete game his last time out, that they would give him a chance to finish what he started. In retrospect, they probably should. But a big win for the Phillies. You got to get that win tomorrow with Wheeler. I mean, we don't know what Lorenzen's going to give you in the final game. So let's get the ace of the staff out there tomorrow, where if nothing else, you walk away from Miami with 3 out of 4. Big win for the Phillies. Great job by the bullpen. Suarez didn't pitch great, but he kept you in it. And as far as the trade goes, Lorenzen didn't have to trade an elite prospect to get him. He'll help you both as a starter and out of the pen. And don't be surprised if this guy gets a couple ABs as a pinch hitter, because if memory serves, he can swing the bat. Maybe the second best hitter on that team, dare I say it.
Oh, no. Don't you do that. Unfortunately, I can't even argue you. There are some numbers flying around on what he can do with the stick, but I didn't even feel like it was worthy of bringing that up. We'll get to that if we see it. All right, I know it's out there. I don't want to get wacky, right? God forbid I start to get wacky. That's just not the right thing to do. How dare you bring that up? You see my eyes? You see me smiling? You see me thinking thoughts that I probably shouldn't think? That's why we got to wrap things up here. Sean, you're a demon. You're a demon. All right, everybody, thank you so much. I love you. We'll be talking soon. You know it. See you on the next one.